The eruption of Mount St. Helens on May 18, 1980, was one of the most dramatic geologic moments in American history.
Friday, the 13th.
We are awed, and rightly so, by the forces of destruction at loose in the world in this nuclear era.
5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
John Lennon, singer, songwriter, leader of a musical group that led a generation. Earlier this week he was killed. Today, New York and the world mourn.
Fans waited and debated over which of the plausible suspects had pulled the trigger.
Take a number.
From any number of bamboozled oil barons
I'll get you for this if it's the last thing I do.
to JR's neglected, long-suffering wife, Sue Ellen.
Tell me, JR, which slut are you going to stay with tonight?
He told me you killed him. No. I am your father.
Not true.
I don't understand. What do you mean kill you?
Me? Kill me? Start here. Kill me first. Do me a fucking favor. Because you're driving me crazy. You're a killer. You're a big shot. Just kill. You're a killer.
Excuse me, what do you mean by you, though?
President Carter won a major victory today in his bid to boycott the Moscow Olympic Games because of the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan.
Here's Johnny.
Another one bites the dust.
Hey folks, Crazy Climber 80 here again, and we're going to look at game number 14 in our 20 from the 1980 series. And this game was a space shooter by Nichibutsu in 1980, and it is called Moon Cresta. That cabinet was under the Gremlin Sega license, Gremlin Sega, and that is the one that was most likely seen in the US, and there's the Nichibutsu original cabinet. But this was created by Nichibutsu. It was licensed to Gremlin Sega in the US, and it was also licensed to Century with some differences, and it was renamed Eagle. We'll have a brief look at that later on. But this was kind of cool for its time. It had a very noticeable startup little jingle that you could hear in the arcades, and we'll hear it in a little bit. But this is a kind of bonus stage where you can dock with another ship to give you extra firepower, and early on it's very easy. You kick in your thrusters to try to maneuver yourself correctly, and you see you get a little bit of extra firepower. There are a total of 8 stages, I believe, and there are 2 colors of each enemy for each stage. And contact with an enemy will kill you. The enemies do not fire at you in this game. There is a mod kit called Super Moon Cresta in which the enemies do fire back at you, and we'll look at that later on. I only saw Moon Cresta with the Gremlin Sega license. I didn't see any of the other games. There were other games in this series later on down the line, like spinoffs. There was Moon Quasar, UFO Robo Dangar. We'll get into those later on. There was a sequel called Terra Cresta as well. I like how it says you can get a lot of fun and thrill. But we'll get started. Yep, I definitely remember that sound in the arcade. I believe I first saw this at Malibu Grand Prix. Now, this is very difficult for a lot of gamers. The reason being is because the enemies move in herky-jerky patterns, and you get freaked out and you're not sure where to park yourself. make little movements to get out of the way, but generally I like to stay in the middle because the enemies often like slow down at the center. So I like to try to generally fire there. You're not completely safe at the far left or far right. Enemies might try to reach you there. So I like to stay in the middle and just make little movements. Whoa, that was close. Yeah, the first enemies are like eyes, and they split in half when you shoot them. If you leave them alone for a while, I think they split it on their own. And then the next enemy is like it's like a moth. And again, there are two colors of each enemy. And whoa. Once you have beaten a total of 4 enemies, then you will have a chance at docking for extra firepower. And extra firepower is very nice. And here we go. This is super easy early on. Just make minimal movements to try to, very minimal, to try to guide your ship on top. And you can use the thrusters with the fire button to give yourself a little bit of slower descent. Just hold down a little bit to make sure you move in the right direction. If you just tap, it's not going to do anything. And see how nice this extra firepower is. And you have these weird enemies here that when you're down to just 1, they can disappear and then reappear like right on top of you if you're not careful. And then after that, basically I think there's 9 stages. This is just a meteor shower. You want to stay at the far right and maybe just peek out once in a while to try to nail a falling meteor. But generally stay to the right. See, I'm just gonna lay on the thrusters enough. It's very forgiving in terms of collision detection there. And now we have these falling missiles. You're gonna really appreciate the extra firepower. If you die along the way to the docking stage, you might not be able to do the docking stage. These missiles are thinner than you'd think, harder to hit. It seems your shots just miss them. But just keep moving back and forth and fire. Eventually you'll hit them. Far out. The different versions of this game, like Super Moon, Cresta, and Eagle, might have a different message instead of far out. Maybe something like very good or something, I don't remember. I think the enemies have names. I think these were called Cold Eye for some reason. But I definitely remember the sound effects of this game in the arcade back in the day. Like I said, I believe I saw this at Malibu Grand Prix, and that's no longer there. Ah, crap. I live not far from where Malibu Grand Prix was. My whole family loved that place. I'm sad that it's gone. When you lose a ship, then one of the other ships that you could have docked with, you'll be able to use. And note that you get an extra shot with those other 2 ships. There is Type 1, Type 2, and Type 3. And you start a game with Type 1. And if you beat all the stages through, then you will start back over with the single-shot ship. And I died with the single-shot ship, so I'm with Type 2 now. And I still get the opportunity to dock with Type 3. See, it's still easy. You get all the time in the world. If you miss completely and run out of time, then you'll fail to dock. And you won't be able to pick up that extra firepower. But yeah, notice that if you cut it down to 1 enemy, they can disappear and reappear right on top of you, which sucks. But yeah, here, just only peek out a little bit to try to fire a shot at one of the meteors, or whatever those are. I'd never seen Eagle or Supermoon Cresta. Supermoon Cresta is just a mod kit, and it's kind of weird. We'll look at that a little bit later. We'll also look at Eagle later on. So yeah, there's 9 stages, including the meteor stage. Far out? Now, one thing I didn't mention yet, which is really cool about this game, if you manage to reach 30,000 points, you not only get an extra credit, but that credit lets you pick up where your score left off. That's awesome. I definitely remember hearing the opening tune blare across the arcade, and at this point, the last Cold Eye, or actually the last of any enemy, maybe other than the missile ones, will be super fast. You really gotta watch out for them. Ah, yikes. Get away from me. But this game was very tough for casual gamers. But like I said, I kind of generally try to stay in the middle to get shots at them. Yikes. It might have been, no, it's the next enemies in Eagle that are actually eagles. And I guess that's why it's called Eagle. But that is with the Century license. Crap. That was my dumb. Shave and haircut, 2 bits, no bonus. With this shot, but with this ship type. But notice that the bigger your ship, of course, the more likely of a target you are, or more likely that you're going to get hit. Yeah, see, that guy likes to disappear and then reappear on top of you. Whoa, that was really close. But yeah, here, just stay to the right and just peek out a little bit to try to shoot a meteor. They're only worth 200 points, but you don't get a score much in this game. Yeah, if you can make it to 30,000, you get an extra credit, and you get to keep your score with the extra credit, which is really cool. Can I make it through all these guys, too? Well, hope you're able to stay cool. Right now it's not bad. I opened up the back porch door, and I'm blowing cool air in with my fan. I'm too cheapo to spring for AC, so I just have a bunch of fans blowing. I don't care. Well, I hope to have my room renters coming in very soon and bringing their stuff in. I've still got till whoa, close. I still got till Wednesday before I go back to work. I'm cleaned out the yikes, stay away from me. I cleaned out the washer dryer room, the half bathroom, the guest bathroom, and the kitchen. Scrubbed down everything, wiped down wiped down the fridge and the freezer and microwave and everything. Looks really good so far, but boy, that living room and dining area are going to be a real pain in the butt. You got to put in a lot of initials in the Nichibutsu original, and that's what I was playing here. I think you only get to put in 3 initials for the Gremlin Sega one, and for Eagle and Super Moon Cresta. That's Moon Cresta by Nichibutsu originally in 1980, and it also got the Gremlin Sega license and the license by Century as Eagle with different graphics and everything. here's me getting that 30,000. And then when I die, then here's what happens. Play another game. I start over with the first ship, but see, I keep my score. Isn't that nice? But now we're going to look at Eagle, which is a little different looking. And this had the Century license. I have never seen this one. Trip to the Space War Eagle. Try it now. You can get a lot of fun and thrill. The colors or the design of the ships looks kind of stupid to me. I like Moon Cresta better. Eagle's a little bit easier, I think. See, the enemies are a little bit different. And there's purple moths there. And like I said, they have actual eagles here. And then there's the meteor stage, and then the missiles again. But that's the differences with Eagle. And now we'll look at the mod kit Super Moon Cresta. And the Gremlin logo looks cut off. But it is weird. The enemies fire back at you, and even the meteors can shoot at you, which is weird. But other than that, it pretty much plays the same. If you die, well, other than you shoot super frickin' fast. And the first enemies will not shoot at you. But after that, then enemies shoot at you, see? And they shoot faster and they shoot more often later on in the game. Yeah, see, even the meteors are shooting. Oops. And if you die sometimes during a stage, then the enemies might slow way the hell down for you. Kind of cool. Otherwise, I prefer Moon Cresta. Well, that was Moon Cresta, game number 14 in our 20 from 1980 series, created by Nichibutsu, and also had the Gremlin, Sega, and Century licenses. This is Crazy Clown Radio, saying thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later with game number 13. Take it easy, everybody. Bye-bye.